Strap in
Did he say strap in or strap on?
and prepare yourself for a mind-blowing ride through politics, culture, and anything else you can think of. You're about to get tomahawked by two guys with dominant minds. This is Tomatalk.
Okay, now we are live for the third time tonight. So strap in or strap on, because looks like somebody strapped one on behind us and just started fucking me and my tech skills in the ass. Yeah, so
Let's reproduce all of the jokes that we just did for the last 3 takes.
yeah, and I am so sorry to everybody out there. This is totally my fault. We probably just gave a good 15 minutes of solid gold, and I did not stream it. Whoops. So welcome to the Tomatalk podcast again for the third time or second time, depending on when you tried to tune in. We are your hosts. I am Uzi.
I am Kaz.
Yes, he is Kaz.
Our viewers distracting.
Yeah, so rough.
Can I wave? Can I just wave?
I wasn't paying. Yes, now you did.
Oh, you know, I should wave because of the last time.
Oh, something's missing. Those hands are a little less shiny.
Yeah.
Dare I say? But you seem in better spirits now, so that, hey, good things sometimes, you know.
We'll see.
So, God, I've got to cover this again. Last week we covered no politics, and it was pretty awesome. We just made fun of feminism, third wave feminism, and other social justice warriors. This week coming up, we're going to make fun of Trump and Hillary and their cat fight, and how we're tired of them, and Hillary's giant vagina in the donut meme. Dildos at the University of Texas. Yeah, dildos at the University of Texas, and fucking what else? Binghamton University's 2K16 male, white, privileged, check that shit at the door class for the resident advisors. Okay, so that's the quick rundown. Sorry if anybody didn't like that, but tough shit. That's the third time we've done it. So,
Abandoned hope.
Since we were just on the 2K or Stop White People 2K16 thing, and we beat that to death, let's hopefully we can refresh that later. Let's start off with Trump and Clinton and their little fun little cat fight.
I don't know anything about it. I didn't see it yet.
Okay, so Trump, how do I put this? He's had a softening on his immigration policy, and the softening is the way he's framing it is that he's listening to people. So
Sean Hannity?
Yeah, right. Sean Trump, his twin. He's framing it in that way. So he started off his campaign with, we're going to deport 11 million people. We're going to get a deportation force, round them all up, and kick them all out, right? And then if the good ones can come back in, and it's like, fine, but it's not feasible. It's not fiscally feasible. You don't have the manpower to do it. Like, it's not going to happen. So, but he went all the way through the primaries with that platform on immigration. And I want to say it was Sunday on Hannity. He made it pretty clear that he understood you couldn't do that. I don't know if this was his plan from the start off strong, but I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, how they're all going to move towards the center now. Well, Donald Trump's now moving to the center. So he's still saying, hey, the bad ones got to go. And the good ones, he's talked to thousands of people who have said, what about the people who have been here for 15 or 20 years? That's not right. That's hard to do. And those people absolutely have a point. Like, but he basically said no pathway to citizenship, no amnesty, but they're going to start paying taxes and back taxes, soften his stance on it. He still would like to deport them, but make it very easy for them to get right back in as legal citizens, which, to me, why waste the money on deporting them? Just give them a goddamn pathway to citizenship, make them pay some back taxes, let's call it a day. I realize that pisses people off that came in the legal way and waited 7 or 8 or 9 years. Whatever. So, that's his softening. He's getting a lot of criticism for it. Then he comes out with a fun speech, and maybe he's pandering to minorities, talking about how Hillary Clinton hasn't done anything for the African American community or Latinos or whatever. and he called her a bigot. So Hillary Clinton fires back with Donald Trump is a bigot, and he's bringing, he's bringing the hate movement mainstream. The hate movement mainstream, like, lady,
What the hell does that mean? What's the hate movement?
I don't know. I mean, he like maybe she's referring to the alt right, like the Milo Yiannopoulos of the world. And it's like, look, they're really not hateful people. They're trolls, absolutely, and they want to get a rise out of you, and they're very good at what they do.
I'm sure Milo would describe himself as a hateful person,
No,
probably willingly.
I don't know if he described himself as hateful.
I just hate fat people in the gym. I just hate it. Like, go the fuck home and get on a diet, and then come back until you've lost like 100 pounds.
That really wasn't
You
that
really
bad.
said that shit.
Yeah, but even then, I'll look at him like, how can you make fun of a fat guy at a gym who's trying to lose that 100 pounds that you want him to lose? You can't just go starve yourself, man. It takes exercise and diet. But do I think Milo is a hateful person? No. Does he say shit? Does he say shit to get a rise out of people and get a reaction? Absolutely. And he is by far the best at what he does. I don't think there's anyone better at getting a rise out of people than Milo.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, their little cat fight, just the back and forth. Like, I'm not sure if either one of them understands what the word bigot actually means, and
Probably not.
they both fit the definition. It's one who is intolerant to the beliefs of another. I'll be goddamned. So pretty much, I don't know, 99% of the country is bigots. Because you got the Uber left who are completely intolerant of anybody on the Uber right, or even just right of center. You got the social justice warriors, and how dare you ever disagree with them on whatever it is, whatever cause they have going on at the moment. I mean, don't disagree with them. They are intolerant of that. You got, even on the right, man, you got the conservatives who are intolerant of liberal policies. And you know what? I'm guilty of that myself, man. I'm pretty intolerant of some shit.
Everybody's a bigot in some kind of way. There's always going to be some opinion or some standpoint that you're just never ever going to accept.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
no matter how much reason or logic or how much arguing and time you spend trying to hammer out those details, you're just never going to accept it.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all guilty of that. So we're all bigots. Now, does it mean that, I'm looking at, I can't be friends with somebody who votes for Hillary? Yeah, of course I could be friends with somebody who's going to vote for Hillary. I probably have many friends who are going to vote for Hillary. I just really don't want to know if they voted for Hillary.
Okay, so I was watching the interview with Cenk Uygur and Gary Johnson,
Cenk?
and I gotta say, how do you say his name? Cenk?
Cenk?
I don't know.
And I think it's
C-
Uyghur.
Uygur. I know his last name is pronounced Uygur.
It's Uyghur?
Yeah,
Uyghur.
Uygur. Cenk Uygur, from the Young Turks. For anybody that's watching, I gotta say, I'm not feeling Gary Johnson.
That's the shitty thing, man. Gary Johnson, of all the candidates up there, I like him better than Trump or Clinton.
I mean, I like him as like his platform is fine with me.
Yes.
I don't like him.
No. Oh yeah. Oh
He's
yeah.
not likable.
No. God, he's like he kind of strikes me as arrogant, and not in a good way. Like,
Okay, there's like normal guy face, and there's pedophile face. Gary Johnson's like somewhere around there.
Yeah,
there's Ted Cruz. There's Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz has
Gary
pedophile face. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
He does look kind of goofy. I don't like the way he's promoting. Oh, I climbed the highest mountains in the world. What the fuck does that have to do with being president?
Absolutely nothing.
I don't give a shit if you took the world's longest shit. Can you run the country or not?
That might be more interesting, actually.
Well, I'm probably in the running for that one. I've had a few in my day. Ask my wife; she'll tell you.
They got into a debate, the two of them, a really short one, where they were talking about money in politics. And Gary Johnson is of the opinion that we shouldn't have any kind of limits on campaign contributions, but instead increase transparency to the point where they look like a NASCAR jacket, with all the labels and logos of everybody that's giving you money. And Cenk was of the opinion that we should just get money out of it altogether. And I have to side with Cenk on that one.
See, I'm not going to side with Cenk on that one. The money doesn't care. Doesn't matter to me.
I kind of disagree with you.
No, and that's fine. To me, the money doesn't matter. I'm all for the transparency. I'll take that. But what I would like to see is a politician with a spine. Like, I know you hear people saying, oh, we need to ban lobbyists. Why? Let the lobbyists do it. They're going to lobby no matter what. Even if you ban them, they're still going to find a way to push their influence. So how about we punish the politicians who kowtow to those lobbyists and say, oh, cool, you're going to donate this much to my campaign and I'm going to give you this favor? Yeah, you bet. Why don't we punish them? The lobbyists
I don't think we need the money. We don't need it. We have all these free forms of media coverage. All you need is an iPhone or whatever phone there's out there. You can make your own campaign promotional.
No, I hear you there, and I agree with that. The money, though, I mean, you got to look at the TV. They want the money.
We
That's
need
who,
to get rid of them altogether.
oh no,
Fucking
I'm with
Fox,
you.
CNN, and all that. Fuck those motherfuckers.
No, I'm with you. Like, you want to talk about rigged shit? Yeah, absolutely. It's rigged in favor of the two-party system. Like, when you're requiring the third-party candidate to get 15% in 5 different polls, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who cares? He's on all 50 ballots. Put him in the debates. Well, we can make an exception. No, he's on all 50 ballots. He's the only other candidate on all 50 ballots. Put him
There
in
you
the
go.
debates. Why is that so hard? But no, I'm with you in that. Yeah, you don't necessarily need the money. Trump slamming he's self-funding, well, he's full of shit. Um,
Backed by Trump Corporation.
well, yeah, and they just jacked up his rent price in Trump Tower. I'll be damned. 5 times what he was paying in March, I believe. But he's self-funding. I mean, well, it's pretty open now. He is fundraising now, so he's not. But he's not coming out saying he's self-funding anymore. He pretty much did it through the primaries, but yeah, no. I mean, the money in politics, though. I think we should punish the politicians. I'm not. If somebody wants to blow a small fortune on a candidate who can't get elected, go for it. That's your stupidity. But if a favor is returned for that contribution, there should be jail time involved. Absolutely.
I just don't see how there's any logic behind the idea that somebody could give you $1 million and you would do nothing for them.
No, I know exactly. But that's the thing. Let the donors say, hey, we're still going to donate. That's fine. As soon as there is something done for that money, bye. You want to start seeing honest politicians show up, start punishing the dirty ones.
A bullet to the fucking head.
I mean, that might be a little extreme. I was thinking like general population in Florence, Colorado or something. But, sure, we can go that way too.
Gotta make examples of these motherfuckers.
I'm sure general population would be happy to make an example of them.
Live prison rape on YouTube.
And we give them the slipperiest soap we can find. That was soap, SOAP, not slippery slope. For the logical fallacy lookers out there. Yeah, no, give them slippery slope. Now I'm screwing up. Slippery soap. Make sure that shit falls out of their hands at least once a day, and Big Bubba or Jack or whoever happens to be in the shower just turns around and he becomes the throbbing cock of justice for America and just takes it out on the politician. So,
Cock of justice.
Yeah.
Fucking you since 1996.
that's, yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, that's where I guess I don't see the problem with the money. I see the problem with the politicians. I mean, if they're going to take the money and they're just going to say, okay, I appreciate you getting me elected, and they just stick to their campaign, they stick to their platform, however long they're in office, this is what I ran on, this is what I did, this is how it shows, and they're totally transparent with how that money was spent, I have no problem with it. As soon as you start saying, well, we'll take ExxonMobil, for example. Oh, they donated $1 million to my campaign, and I'll be damned, I gave them rights to offshore drilling in the Gulf Coast. Okay, that's a problem. I think that politician should be in jail. I'm okay with companies and people just wasting their money on that crap. I'm fine with it.
Well, think we'll just have to agree to disagree.
No, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, everybody can have their opinion on that one. I'm not gonna sever any friendships.
I mean, I don't
over that one.
have any. I don't know. It just doesn't make any logical sense to me to have that kind of money involved, and I just don't see how there's any possible way that corruption can be avoided. I mean, even with harsh sentencing and punishment, there's always going to be people that just going to try to get away with it, and most of them probably will.
Well, no, and that's true, and it's already been shown. I mean, you got the email scandals, and oh god, there was a sailor that just went to jail. He tried using the Clinton defense. I think he got a year in prison. I think it was a year. I could be wrong on the sentence. Maybe it was 6 months. But he got prison time. He tried using the Clinton defense. Saying he didn't mean any harm, but he took pictures inside of a nuclear submarine. And that's, mishandling classified information. Why is one still running for president? Why is one now sitting in jail? Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't discount money having power. I don't discount that at all. It has
Money is power.
Yeah, it is the influence. It's the only influence. It's the universal motivator. I don't know too many people that aren't motivated, unless you're the Dalai Lama, or some other like hardcore Buddhist monk who is just totally content with butterflies around you while you're meditating and you got your Zen garden going.
Maybe we could put them on some kind of blacklist where they can't own extraneous bank accounts and have their bank account activity redacted but live streamed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I kind of like that idea. See, now we're starting to meet in the middle somewhere. I like it. Oh man. So
okay, so dildos on campus.
I was gonna say, speaking of meeting in the middle, can you meet in the middle with a dildo and a gun? I'm not. Yeah, dildos on campus. So if anybody doesn't know, University of Texas, they allow concealed carry on campus. Some anti-gunners.
This is Texas.
Yes, Texas. Oh, well, UT. That's in Austin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
UT is in Austin.
it makes more sense. I mean, as far as Texas is red and Austin's like the blue pimple on Texas. So the SJWs at the University of Texas are going out there and they are passing out dildos because they disagree with people being able to conceal a firearm as they attend classes. This is just retarded. Like, that's all I can come up with. These kids are as dumb as rocks. So there actually is a law.
Now they have guns.
No, they have dildos. The dumb ones have dildos.
Oh.
So, yeah, they're holding, well, their pictures and cameras show what looks to be like a big rally, and then there was actually kind of a further shot. There was like 40 people there. I mean, they want that free college, but man, they sure had a lot of money to spend on dildos. I don't know when the last time anybody else walked into a sex shop was. That shit ain't cheap.
I guess they've been planning this for over a year, and they've been taking contributions, and a lot of sex shops have donated those dildos.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. But still, I guess I would have just gone on eBay and started selling that shit. Like, fucking hey, right. I think it would have violated a number of things, but so Texas also has a law against profanity. I can't think of exactly what it is. You can't show lewd shit in front of kids, basically. And that's kind of what they're doing. They're strapping dildos to their backpacks and walking around and waving around. And I did the videos of them that I seen.
A penis.
Yeah. And they're going, why is this offensive? And da-da-da. And a concealed gun is not. Because if somebody has a concealed gun, you don't know that they fucking have it. That's the point of concealing it. You don't know that they have it. So what's the difference? If they never have to pull it out and use it, that's a good thing. If you never know they had a gun, that's a good thing. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand this. Why do they feel unsafe? And laws are... I know plenty of law-abiding people who would break that law willingly. Plenty. Who would just say, fuck it, I'm not going there without my concealed gun. So, how do they stop concealed? Just pass another law? How does that stop anything? How does a sign on a bathroom stop a pervert from going and molesting a kid? How does a sign on a fucking schoolhouse stop somebody who wants to kill people from coming in and kill? It doesn't. The laws don't work unless people follow them.
So I was arguing with one of my friends, and he made a point to me, and I wanted to hear what you had to say in return to it.
Okay.
The point was, because you know how I feel, everybody should have a gun, right? His point was that if everybody has a gun, then when somebody wants to kill a bunch of people at one time, isn't he going to go for something bigger and badder?
What do you mean bigger and badder?
A bomb. AT-4.
If nobody has a gun and somebody wants to kill a bunch of people at one time, aren't they going to go for something bigger and badder? What's to stop them? Nothing. Now, say they go to employ said bomb, but everybody has a gun, and somebody sees them going to employ said bomb. Maybe you can kill him before he's able to detonate it.
Maybe.
You give yourself a fighting chance.
Maybe it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'll take a 1% chance of living over a 0% chance of living. Good enough for me. Yeah, so, I mean, the anti-gun kids, like, I mean, they're just regurgitating that something one of their uber liberal professors told them. And it's what I had a professor, medieval history class. This lady was awesome. She is the first to admit that she is as close to a commie as it gets, except she loves her guns. She loves guns probably more than you or I love guns. To which I'm saying, well, you can't be a communist if you love guns unless you're trying to be the one in power. But yeah, she doesn't understand like this fascination with wanting gun control all over the place. Even she gets the arguments that you're better off if everybody has a gun. An armed society is a polite society. So,
yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
Maybe we can just carry around dildos and beat the shit out of each other with them.
Dude, so when I first heard about this, I laughed, not just because they were throwing around dildos on the college campus. Like, I mean, I expect that at frat parties and whatnot. But, you know, when I heard they were doing this in protest to concealed carry, it made me think of a George Carlin bit. And he was talking about some dude getting beaten to death in an alley by a guy in an Easter Bunny costume with a still dildo. And that's what I thought of. That was the first thought that popped into my head. Like, that'd be interesting to watch. I don't know if I'd help the guy because I would just be so amused by the Easter Bunny and still dildo.
Hilarious if like 10 people died from dildos on fucking campus tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and that's and I guarantee it. And I guess that's the other thing. I mean, and conservatives, man, they protest some stupid shit too. Don't get me wrong. You heard about the fucking? It was in Houston at the NAACP building, the White Lives Matter protest.
No, I didn't.
Oh my god, yeah, 20 fucking morons showed up and
20 people?
20, yes, 20.
I didn't hear about it.
And, yeah, they're fucking stupid. You got 20 douchebags showing up, and a couple of them had some rifles. I'm gonna say they were AR style. I couldn't get a really good picture of it. One of them looked like an AR-15. To me, it's irrelevant. But they're wearing body vests and they're sitting there with their White Lives Matter, and they're very ominous on either side of the White Lives Matter phrase. There were these two images, very I don't know, it reminded me of the eagle holding the swastika. Like to me, it was pretty goddamn obvious. It was a fucking neo-Nazi group. But
Right.
they're outside of the NAACP, and they're saying, well, they can do Black Lives Matter, and these guys sponsor Black Lives Matter, and they're all a bunch of racists. And it's like, well, you're not helping the cause. When you come out here and say White Lives Matter, what does that make you? A racist. Congratulations. Like,
Just proved Black Lives Matter point.
yeah, well, like I said, they're out there, they're wearing their body armor, they got their guns, and I'm sitting there, okay, why did you feel the need to wear the body armor? And they got their Confederate flag, and I'll defend anybody that wants to fly the Confederate flag, man. And if that's your family's heritage, that's fine. There's better ways of showing off your heritage, like far better ways. I mean, here in Colorado and Cinco de Mayo, you know, the Mexicans they drive up and down Federal Boulevard, and they got their Mexican flags flying. I think my dad has his license plate that says Italian American. There you go. I go to the Catholic Church bazaars every year. Although I didn't go this year, I missed the last one. Sorry, guys.
Nobody alive today lived in the Confederacy.
No, but that's the thing. A lot of I don't care if that's their heritage. That's fine. You can always, if you want to put a flag in your yard, and if somebody's like, hey, be like, whoa, hold on, dude. This is my family came from here. And if you want to sit down and have a conversation about it, that's fine. Like, I don't mean any hatred by it. That's fine. The flag in and of itself is not racist. Can it be used for racist things? Absolutely. These White Lives Matter assholes, they brought those flags out as an intimidation technique. They're stupid. They brought their guns out to intimidate. They put on those body armor vests to basically sit there and say, we know we are coming out here to provoke people, and we automatically assume the people we are trying to provoke, black people, are going to shoot at us, so we need to protect ourselves. Like, that's the message that I got from them. And I'm looking at them going, like, there's other ways. Like, because my one buddy asked me, so what if it was their heritage? What if it was their heritage? There's other ways to display it. You don't go in front of the NAACP. And I'm actually firmly against the NAACP. I mean, they do some good things, but there's a lot of things that I really don't like about them. I don't like their founder, W.B. Du Bois. I'm not a big fan of his radicalism and how he wanted things. I was more of a Booker T. Washington fan. But, yeah, I don't know, man. All these protests, to any more... You ever seen the movie PCU?
No, definitely not.
I highly recommend watching it. PCU, well, it is exactly what it sounds like. The university in the movie is Port Chester University, but it has to be the most PC university on the face of the planet. There's protests.
Is this new?
No, this is an old movie. It's got David Spade when he was like 25 and Jeremy Piven.
Really?
Jeremy Piven when he still had hair, and John Favreau before he weighed 300 pounds. And yeah, dude.
Shit.
It's a hilarious ass movie, but watch it because people say, "Oh, Idiocracy was a documentary." Like, no, Idiocracy is a manuscript. PCU was a documentary. And
I'll check it out. Is it on Netflix?
oh, I don't know. I don't have Netflix, but
You don't have Netflix?
I should get it. It's cheap.
What are you doing without Netflix?
I look at internet porn and fucking work out my right bicep, dude. No, I'm joking.
How do you entertain your kids?
Well, I do that when they're not home. He's not home. I only have the one. Yeah, freaking
See you.
PCU, dude. It's just a bunch of politically correct assholes, and there's this one group that just pushes back. And at the end, they hold a rally in protest of protesters. And it makes sense when you watch the movie. Me describing it's not good, but he's up there. He's like, come on, we're not going to protest this time. Come on, we're not going to protest. I think that's the biggest problem. Like, you got a lot of people, and they're making a lot of freaking noise in the country. They're not getting anything done. They're just making noise. That's all they're doing. So, yeah, I don't know. The protests, it's people's right to do so, but just stop. Just stop it already. You're making shit worse. The first rule of life, I wrote this in that article, stop making shit worse. I've said it with like people who like to open carry firearms. Don't make shit worse. People are already nervous about guns. If you go out there with your ARs and you're standing guard in front of the fucking recruiting centers acting like an asshole, you're making it worse. Don't do that. Rule number 1, don't make shit worse. That should be rule number 1 of life. Just don't
Protest
make
has
shit
become
worse.
something else these days. It's not like it used to be, It's all, let's obstruct this. Let's prevent people from being able to do that. It's all trying to control people.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's about control. We want to be heard. It's a fucking temper tantrum anymore is all it is.
Yeah. It's over every little thing.
Yeah, I look at the protests from way back in the day who they actually thought they were fighting for something. Like, I mean, you look at the protests now, and I hate to single out Black Lives Matter. Like I said, I could look at the White Lives Matter dumbasses, but you look at the Black Lives Matter, and look what it's progressed to. It's no longer just a protest. It's no longer just shutting down a fucking highway. They're burning down a fucking city. Like, they have torched Milwaukee. Most of the journalists have left Milwaukee. They're not even covering it anymore. It's not safe for them. I'm trying to think. There was an Asian kid. He was an intern.
Wait a minute. We have journalists in Afghanistan. They're scared of Milwaukee?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. See, a journalist in Afghanistan, when the Afghanis see them, it's like they see them as a tool. they can get their message out. Even if they want to kill Americans, depending on who the journalist or where they're from, it could be a tool to get their message out to America saying, oh, we're not bad. You guys are the bad guys. So they may let them walk. In Milwaukee, if you're white, you're dead now. Certain parts, not the whole city, obviously. But where all the rioting and shit going down, that's what I was getting at. This Asian kid, he was an intern, and I can't remember what news organization he was with. His final assignment for the summer was to go to Milwaukee and just cover everything. And it was him and his buddy. They started beating the shit. They saw him and his buddy when his buddy tried to take pictures popping out from behind this car. And I think the guy screamed something like, hey, get your white ass out of here. Better hope I don't catch you. And started chasing him. Well, they caught the Asian kid, started kicking the shit out of him. And then a couple guys said, hold on, don't do it. He's not white. He's Asian. And it's like, wait, that's your reason? White people? Like, if you saw me, you just want to kick my ass? And you don't know me. I've never done anything to you.
How did we get here, man?
How did we get here? That's a good
When
question.
I was growing up, it was all about diversity. Like, everybody was talking about unity and diversity, bringing white people and black people together. Like, how did it shift? It's just one too many cops got acquitted.
Do you want my honest answer, or how I truly believe how it shifted?
What?
Oh, boy, I can't think of the professor's name. The Cambridge professor. Oh, God, I can't think of his name right offhand. It was like Obama's first year in office. And I mean, in race relations, they'd maintained. I'm not going to say they improved. They got worse. They had been maintained since, I don't know, probably mid-90s. They had just maintained. People were starting to look past their own skin color. It was great. Obama gets into office. Everything, all right, cool. Whether I agreed with the guy or not, hey, we got our first black president. That's still pretty awesome. I don't give a shit what your political leanings are. That was pretty cool. But about a year in, that professor gets arrested for trying to break into his own house. Didn't have ID on him. Didn't want to cooperate. He was from Cambridge. Why can't I think of his damn name? Anyways, he didn't cooperate with the police officer. A neighbor had seen him trying to break into the house, couldn't identify him, so she called the police. Officer showed up, asked him for ID. He started mouthing off to the officer. Well, you're trying to break into a house. You have no ID, even though his ID was in the house. Instead of just saying, officer, this is my house. This is my name. You can look me up. You can type in somebody's name into your freaking computer. Every officer can do it. No, instead of just doing that.
The professor was white or black?
He was black.
Okay.
This is when Obama spouted off the very next day with, I believe the police acted stupidly.
I don't even remember that.
Why can't I think of the guy's name? Dude, let me find it real quick. I apologize for anybody watching live, but I am totally going to go off script here, and I am going to find this guy.
I remember the day that Obama was elected. I was working in the aid station doing sick call, and this is at 223. And I remember I got like maybe 10 text messages with the most racist fucking jokes you ever heard in your life. And I was like, I'm black, right?
But were they funny?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Not really. Like, it was just like, wow, where did this come from? All of a sudden, this racism that you can just share on text messages to everybody you know, and you don't have any fucking reservations about it? Like, why? Just because he's black?
Professor Henry Gates.
Henry.
That was the guy's name. So, I'll be the first one to admit, man, I made a totally racist joke. But I did it, and I made it very clear I was joking, and I did it in the Army way, because I was in the National Guard at the time. And we showed up to the Armory, and they got the whole chain of command up there. And I looked at the chain of command, and you go all the way to the right, and there's Obama. And I couldn't help it. I just go, one of us is not like the others. Now, anybody who's ever been in the Army knows what that means. And anybody who was around me, they just looked at me. And the looks on some of their faces, I'm like, gee, you can laugh, guys. It's okay. And so they're like, oh my God. I'm like, what? Like, it was funny. It was meant to be funny. I didn't care. He was still my commander-in-chief at the time. Like, if he gave me an order, Roger, as long as it was constitutional.
Yeah. I do think that was the moment where everything started shifting. He got elected.
I think that had a lot to do with it. I think it brought out the shittiness in some people. But okay, no, you know what? You're right. I will take back mine. I guess mine just threw more kerosene on the fire.
I mean, because remember when Bush got elected and then 9/11 happened, everybody was united against Arabs.
Mhm.
Anybody of Middle Eastern descent, it didn't matter if you were Indian or Pakistani or whatever the fuck you were. If you kind of looked a little bit like you might be Muslim, everybody was against you. White people and black people didn't have any problems with each other anymore because they were so focused on this common enemy.
Oh yeah. No, and that's dude, that's the unfortunate thing about American society. To truly unite us, all of us, it takes a massive tragedy.
Yep.
And you know, and have I bashed Obama like over the recent flooding in Louisiana? Yes, I have. Not because he didn't go down there. I think Louisiana was doing just fine without him. I was more upset with him. He couldn't even make it. I guess this is where I say, you know, with the whole Henry Gates thing, um, he couldn't even get behind a podium and go, "Hey, you know, we know you're hurting. We know you're flooded. Your governor's doing a good job down there. He's in control. But if he needs us, we're here. We're ready to help." Couldn't even be bothered to do that. He had to sink his 3-foot birdie putt. And yes, I'm making fun of him playing golf. I don't know exactly what he was doing on his vacation. I don't care. He could have made a 5-minute little spiel. That was all he had to do. I'd have been satisfied. I didn't need him down there. Like, I don't know if they needed him down there. I don't think so. I mean, it was better than the Bush fly over, take a picture out of the plane after Katrina. But to me, it was indicative of Obama's entire presidency. What could he have politicized with the flooding going on in Louisiana?
I don't know.
Nothing. There's nothing to politicize. It was a freak
Yeah.
natural disaster. But if Trayvon Martin gets killed, and first that was reported by a white guy. George Zimmerman was Peruvian. So
I would just like to say this. If you live in Louisiana, fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. Why the fuck do you live in Louisiana? This shit's below sea level. Do you not understand what that means? Like, it's below. There's the sea, and this is you. You see how water flows fucking down? Like, fuck you. Move the fuck out.
gravity will win eventually. Yeah, I mean, but to me, his silence was just indicative of his entire presidency. If there was nothing to politicize, he didn't want to speak on it. He had no reason to speak on it. You know, the Trayvon Martin case, he had to speak on it. He spoke on Michael Brown. He spoke on Henry Gates. He spoke on any time there was a perceived tragedy or something he could actually politicize. He wanted to politicize. Um, he wanted to politicize the college shootings and try to push his gun control agenda. Every time he's gotten behind a microphone, he was trying to push an agenda. I mean, I'm sure he gave speeches in there. My wife is commenting. Hold on.
She's not from Louisiana, is she?
No. Oh, that's a. Well, let's read her second comment first. There was a meme going around showing how hard the police officers were working to help flood victims and asking where the BLM people are. That's true.
Yeah,
There's a video of a dude basically calling out Black Lives Matter, like, where the hell are you now? Like, and I wrote an article on that too. Black lives don't matter unless you were killed by a police.
pretty much.
That's
I mean, it's an undeniable fact that if you're killed, if you're murdered, it's probably by somebody who's the same color as you are.
yeah. No matter your race, you're probably killed by somebody of your same race. You probably, I think it's like a 95% chance. No matter the race, you were killed by somebody of your same skin color.
We segregate ourselves like that. That's how we do.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's part of the human condition, though, too. I think we all like things nice, neat, and organized. If only in our heads, you know, our house may be messier and shit, but in our head, it's like me and my buddy, good contrast. We both deliver mail. If you look at my mail truck, my stuff is nice, neat, organized. It's where I can find it right away. I look in his truck, and to me, it's just a goddamn mess. But it works for him. He knows where everything is. So, yeah, people like things nice, neat, and organized, and it might be nice, neat, and organized in their own way. So,
Can you blog from his truck just so we can see that?
the next time I go talk to him while he's delivering, man, I'll take a
Like,
picture of
look
the
at
inside.
this shit. Don't get him fired. That'd be fucked up.
No, it won't get him fired. They can't do shit about it, man. It's the way he does. As long as he's not screwing up, it's cool. Um, yeah, so, and she also says, what about the black girl who was sent home from high school for wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt? Right, wrong, or indifferent? I think it's absolutely wrong. 100% wrong. You do not send her home for that. I may disagree with their message. You do not send her home for that.
No. Hell no. You kidding me?
Yeah, I don't think it's right to send kids home. In Michigan, there was a big thing a few years back about kids wearing like Confederate flag belt buckles. You don't need to send them home. That is their freedom of expression. That is their right to wear that shit. You can't. To me, if you are receiving any kind of public dollars, you do not get to tell people what they can and can't say, what they can and cannot wear, within
But it
reason.
is a safety issue.
What do you
It
mean?
is a safety issue.
What, the
If you
Confederate?
walk around in a school with a Confederate flag on you, and there are kids there that disagree with that, I mean, this is an issue where passions run high, and somebody's going to get hurt.
Same thing with black, but the same can be said for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe both shouldn't be allowed in the school.
But this is where you need to teach people it's okay to have a different opinion, have a discussion. Like I was saying earlier, if somebody's got the Confederate flag on their belt buckle and they're in Michigan. I mean, you're in fucking Michigan. You were not part of it. You were north of the Mason-Dixon line, as far north as you can get. You are there, so you were not in the Confederacy. But maybe they came from the South. And if somebody says, "Hey, why are you wearing that shit?" Well, let me tell you about my family's history. I think a lot could be learned from an actual conversation, as opposed to just assuming you're wearing the Confederate flag, you're a racist piece of shit, I want to kill you now. Or even this girl, hey, you're wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, you're a racist piece of shit, I'm going to kill you now. Like that's stupid. If you can sit there and say, hey, why do you think Black Lives Matter? Well, what's your take on it?
Well, I mean, this is a school. Everybody in there is stupid.
Well, yeah, from the faculty on down.
Everybody.
Yeah, so, but that's the thing. I mean, the faculty, and it starts with the faculty. They should be teaching the kids, like, hey, this is how you can have a discussion about this. Do we think your shirt's appropriate? No, but let's get to the bottom of it. Why did you feel compelled to wear that shirt? Have the discussion. Ask a question instead of just coming out with your assumptions. And we're all guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of assuming shit and jumping the gun, for sure. But if you can ask a question and start a discussion as opposed to let's just start a shouting match, we might actually get somewhere. We might be able to begin to reclose the wound that has been opened up recently.
I don't know. I don't think that there is any fixing it, man. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
so we talked about the dildos. We talked about Trump and Hillary. What was the other subject?
oh yeah, that's right. We come back to what is it? Binghamton College or Binghamton University, and their Stop White People 2K16.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that before on the other stream. Okay.
No, there was no other stream. Remember, I'm an idiot.
The failed attempt.
Yes, oh god, I screwed that up. Yeah, so the resident advisors at Binghamton University.
Raining? Oh shit.
You're outside, ain't you?
Yep.
Ooh,
Just scoot that over a little bit.
there you go. The resident advisors at Binghamton University, and I could be saying it wrong, had a class they had to attend, and it was diversity training and how to make sure white males check their white male privilege at the door when they come into the dorms. And I say that in jest. It was more than just that, but the title of the class was Stop White People 2K16.
And for those of you who don't know, it's a common hashtag in social media and any other video uploading. Whenever you make a video of white people being funny or ridiculous or
Being
imitating hip hop or whatever, just being too white, they hashtag it with "Stop White People 2K16." That's a new thing that's going on. So.
Yeah, white people must be stopped.
I mean, sometimes
It's true sometimes.
Stop.
Sometimes it's true. Sometimes we just got to know when enough is enough. And as a white guy, that's why I don't dance. Because I can't dance. I have no dancing skills. And if I do dance, you can bet on one of two things. Either A, I'm drunk, or B, I just stopped giving a fuck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's more of it lends itself more to the cultural appropriation thing and how that's become a huge thing too. I mean, as far as what the class entails, that doesn't bother me. If you want to teach like, hey, diversity and different cultures, different, fine, I'm okay with that. But an RA's job, you're supposed to solve problems at the lowest level. I know anymore people try to go to the highest level they could possibly get to. They just want to jump all over all the other steps because they don't ever want to be questioned. They're going to find the highest guy that agrees with them, and as soon as they agree with them, look, it's final, it's settled. Um, Instead of just trying to resolve things, problem-solving skills for millennials have just gone out the window. They don't have any. That's why they need safe spaces. That's why they have trigger warnings. Um, they're thin-skinned. They're too sensitive. They're special little fucking snowflakes, and I really wish somebody would just take a blowtorch to them.
It's when did it become acceptable to change the definition of words to suit your narrative? Like, who started that shit? Because
Democrats in
racism,
2003. I'm just
anybody can
joking.
be a racist. Anybody can be a fucking racist. It does not matter who you are or what color you are. Black people, yeah, you can be racist. You can try to change the definition of racism if you want to, and maybe after a few thousand years it becomes colloquial, then it gets accepted and submitted to the fucking Merriam-Webster dictionary and blah blah blah. Fine, but for now, racism means the same as it always has: your intolerance of other people based on their race.
Yeah. When you believe your race is superior to all others, based solely on the melanin in their skin, that's it. Like, you don't have enough of this chemical in your skin, you lose. Now,
I can't be racist. I'm black. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the just most idiotic things I've ever heard. I award whoever said that first, I award them no points. And may God have mercy on their soul.
Where did I see that at?
Billy Madison.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I totally stole that one. And I'm okay with stealing stuff once in a while. That's fine.
I'm going to download that clip and I'm just going to save it in my phone. And anytime somebody says something that's ridiculous, I'm just going to pop that on there.
Yeah, it's the perfect response. It's so dry and so brutal and just hits right to the core.
Like, nothing you said had any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, nothing you just said came anywhere close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. I like it.
Adam Sandler used to be funnier.
Yeah, he's all right now. But he's dumbed his stuff down, man. He's become too PC. The Hollywood's become too everything's too goddamn PC. Way too goddamn PC. I like the off-color jokes. I like it when I guess that's why I like comedy so much. It's like the last bastion of free speech.
I mean, you ever watch Cat Williams?
Dude,
he's a hilarious motherfucker. And
every damn
99%
hustler.
of all of his jokes has something to do with race. And he's not ashamed to make fun of white people, black people, Mexicans, whatever the fuck, and nobody ever talks shit to him about being a racist.
No. Well, and I guess that's the funny thing, too, is, some comedians, like Cat Williams, do I think he's a racist? No. I think he can make jokes about it and joke about certain things within each race, the stereotypes, because it can be funny. Life is funny. If you really just step back and look at life, it's funny. There's no reason to not laugh. I think there's some comics that know you can hide behind the guise of comedy, and they use it to promote racism. But most people aren't going to get it as that.
I have never heard a comedian that I thought was honestly racist.
I guess
I can't think of
no,
time.
And I worded that poorly. I worded that very poorly. Some people hide behind the guise of comedy to promote a cause, not racism.
But they're not comedians. They're more like people that they're racist and they just write their little articles or make their little YouTube videos and say, this is comedy. It's not fucking funny. Nobody's laughing.
Well, and it doesn't just have to be racist. It could be anything. Like the Amy Schumers. I do not find Amy Schumer funny. I don't find her funny at all. Not one damn bit funny. But she goes out there making fun of, like, slut culture, if that's what you want to call it, and like, oh, look how many dudes I banged last night. And then when if somebody makes a comment about it to her, are you slut shaming me? No, you slut shamed yourself. Like, you're the one up there doing it. Like, we're just trying to have
Is it not shameful?
Yeah, if you're gonna go up there and you're gonna hide behind comedy to laugh about these things, and then you're going to come out and basically say it's true, but somebody's going to call you on it. You can't sit there and get mad at them for it. I mean, that's, I don't know. Some people, and it's not just her. You know, the Lena Dunhams of the world. Um, who else? Even Leslie Jones. Are the gorillas too far? Absolutely. It's way too damn far. Way too damn far. You heard she just got hacked again, right? Her webpage
No.
got hacked. Oh yeah, somebody started photoshopping her face onto a gorilla's body and put it up all over her personal
Was it
website.
Harambe's body?
That was the first thought in my head when I heard it too. It was like, was it Harambe? Because Cincinnati's all pissed off about that or something. The zoo, stop! No, Harambe's funny as shit.
It's not because she's black that she looks like a gorilla. It's that fucking ugly ass face of hers.
It's because she looks like a gorilla. Is why she looks like a gorilla.
Gorilla looking face.
I mean,
I
but
know plenty of black girls that don't look anything like a gorilla. Fucking, she needs to just accept it.
you know, so my buddy, he was after my platoon leader had committed suicide a number of years back. He was throwing a little benefit at the place he worked. He worked at the Bus Stop Gentlemen's Club, if you want to call it a gentleman's club. It's in Boulder, Colorado, and it has got to be the lowest end titty bar on the face of the planet. One side is a juice bar, no alcohol, full nude. The other side you get alcohol, it's 21 and up, topless. We're like, all right, cool. You know, we're trying to help them out. I think at the time, Wounded Warrior Project had presented themselves as just a bunch of money grubbing douchebags. So I think he was donating all the proceeds to that. We're like, all right, cool. Me and my wife, we go there. And my buddy's working on the full nude side. He's a bouncer. We go in there and we donate our money and we're having a conversation with him. And out comes this black girl. No shit, she looked like a fucking silverback gorilla from behind. Like, the way she walked, just her mannerisms. And I was like, oh my God, dude. And he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, she is the biggest moneymaker in this place. By George, I'm like, what? How? It's like National Geographic on display with bad house music. Like, it was horrible. I guess the fucking 18-year-old college kids love going in and getting down on that. So, whatever.
So, some people are ugly, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ugly, you know you're ugly. Like, we don't have to tell you. I mean, you know, you see yourself in the mirror every day. You probably scare the fuck out of yourself as soon as you go to brush your teeth. It's like, ah!
Well, and that's the thing, you know, some people, if a fat person loses weight, apparently you can't compliment them anymore now. Yeah, what was I? What BuzzFeed had some stupid thing out there about how complimenting people is, it's bad because if you come, I haven't seen you in like a year, man, you lost a lot of weight, you look really good, and the people who were complimented are irritated that, oh, what? So I'm still trying to comprehend why they were mad. Something about it reinforced bad habits, or, this girl was like, I just gotten a divorce or a bad breakup, and I lost a bunch of weight, so I was out to go to the club, and all my friends were like, oh, you look so good. And she's like, but I'm in so much pain inside. How the fuck can they know that? They're just saying, hey, you lost weight, you look good. They don't know why you lost the weight. They don't know if you just did a speed for fucking 3 weeks or went and got lipo. They don't know what you did. They're just assuming you went to the gym because you're not telling them. If you tell them, hey, I've been super depressed and I haven't been eating, okay, they're probably not going to compliment you on how much weight you've lost. They're probably going to be like, wow, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
But if you don't tell anybody, they'll never know. So when they compliment you, fucking take it as such.
I mean, it's a scientific fact that being fat is not good for you. That's why I'm trying to lose weight. Fuck. I am fat. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's there's so many health risks. Even being underweight is not good for you. There's a lot of health risks. And there's not a magic number of weight. You try to fall within the correct body mass index, but there's no one digit. It's not like I have to be 195 or otherwise I'm going to die in 10 days. Like, that's not how it works. There's definitely a big gray area of weight you can fall into.
I mean, but you've seen those people like, I don't know what channel that shit comes on. Those super huge motherfuckers weigh 1,000 pounds, haven't left the bed in 6 months. They've got fucking cheeseburgers falling out their fucking fat rolls and shit. That's not fucking healthy. Somebody needs to tell that motherfucker, shut the fuck up with your fucking shoving the fucking shit in your mouth.
Easy. No, I'm with you, but that's the thing anymore with the PC culture that we're living in now. That's fat shaming, and you shouldn't do that. Bullshit.
They
Because
had to have the fire department come out to that bitch's house and cut a fucking hole in her fucking roof and not even a joke. I'm not kidding.
no, I
This is
know
serious.
they couldn't.
Fucking
They couldn't put her on a gurney. They had to get in a fucking crane to get her out.
now we're wasting taxpayers' money to fucking take your ass to the doctor so you can get a pill that ain't gonna do shit for your fat ass. Like fuck that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I'm with you, dude. There's got some lightning going on there, huh?
all you have to do to lose weight is take in less calories than you spend.
This
You have
is
a
true.
basal metabolic rate, which means that there's a certain amount of fat that you are always burning. So all you have to do is eat a little bit less than that. And you don't even have to exercise.
This is true. So yeah, I mean, but that's the PC world we live in. You're fat shaming him if you say something. And it's like, no, I'm trying to save this guy. I'm not fat shaming him, but I'm certainly not going to tell him that his 600-pound body is beautiful because it's fucking not.
You know what I've been doing? I've been eating fruit, nothing but fruit for the first 2 meals and drinking water, nothing but water. I do have some flavored waters. And then our grocery stores have these little quick meals that you can pop in the oven. It's got like 300 calories. I'll have
Mhm.
that for dinner.
Damn, you're really starving yourself,
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
right?
But I'm not even hungry. Like, I'm fine.
Well, that's good. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. The culture we're living in right now, it's scary. It's scary, scary, scary. And do I think it's mainstream? No. I think it's what we see in the media. I think still the vast majority. I think you're going to start seeing a pushback here in the next few years. I think you're going to start seeing a major pushback to the PC culture. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
the University of Chicago, their introduction letter to freshmen, pretty much told them, we're here for intellectual diversity, the free exchange of ideas. We ain't going to give you a trigger warning, and we sure as hell ain't offering you no goddamn safe space. Obviously, their language was not as colorful as mine, but they made it very clear to them, you're here to learn, and if you have a problem with that, you're probably not going to fit in very well around here. So, and I think we need more of that. Like, more kids coming out of high school need to learn. When you go to college, you're not there to be protected. You're not there to be sheltered. Mommy and daddy will not save you. You either I think Milo actually said it best. If you believe in your opinions and your views strongly enough, and you can defend them, you have nothing to fear from any speaker or anybody else's ideas. I mean, and it's not, and it's good to have your
Completely agree.
views. Yeah, it's good to have your views challenged. It's good to challenge yourself. Like I said, I've said on previous episodes, I challenge myself all the time. I go to Vox, I go to Slate, I go to Salon.com, but even BuzzFeed, and look at some of their goofy ass shit. And yes, I do go to the sites that typically agree with me, but I go there and I will challenge them as well. I will look at some of the Breitbarts of the world, look at some of the shit they put out, and like, no, I don't agree with that, and here's why I don't agree with it.
I can't stand people who say that they believe something but then refuse to defend their belief. I mean, you tell me that you believe in psychics or whatever, you believe in destiny or whatever fucking thing you believe in. If you truly believe it, then why can't you tell me why? Why can't you try to convince me to believe it?
No,
Why is that an inconvenience for you?
and I think that's probably one of the reasons that I became more conservative than liberal. Like I grew up in I'm not going to say a very liberal house. I think my parents were Democrats. They weren't diehard Democrats. They were just registered. I think they were very middle of the road, like most Americans are. They identified one way or another, but when it came to voting, they just said, "No, I like this guy better." Um, but liberals, every classroom they walk into, every TV channel they turn on, MTV, even the news, even Fox News. Yes, are they more conservative leaning? Sure. Are they still pretty liberal? Yeah, in my view, they are. Um, no matter what, they turn on, every professor that's ever talked to them, every high school teacher, every kindergarten teacher has supported their view. They've never had to defend their view. They've been told what their view was, and all they've ever done is gone out into the world and regurgitate that bullshit. That's called cultural Marxism. You've never questioned it because in Marxism, socialism, communism, whatever you want to call it, there is no questioning. You are loyal to the belief or loyal to that view, You don't question it, and if it's questioned, you have to silence the opposition. This is why the Milos get shut down. Ben Shapiro gets shut down. Anybody that opposes their views gets shut down on these college campuses. Like, what, if you can't defend it, then you probably don't believe it to begin with.
No, I mean, I'm not even gonna go there. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Well, oh man, that's a pretty good show, even though we tried to start it 3 times.
How long have you been on?
About an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a bad little show.
Yeah, let's cut it there because I think we leave them on too long sometimes.
On occasion, yeah, I think an hour is about right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
oh, you know, we haven't.
Please.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say if you're watching, please share this video. Please like and subscribe to us. We need more viewers. We have shit for views right now. So help a brother out. Whatever you could do.
Yeah, you've
Tag
all
somebody that might like it.
y'all heard of pay-per-view. Well, we're shit for view. So, and while I'm at it though, I just realized I haven't plugged him at all tonight. Our good buddy, one of the medics we were both with, helped found an organization up there in Washington. They're doing good work for vets, driving down the suicide rates. 22toomany.org. That's the word 20, TWENTY, the number 22, many.org. So whatever you can do, time, money, just give them a look-see. Maybe, somebody could use their help or whatever. Just give them a check them out, and see what you can do to help out. So,
All right.
yeah, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Take care. Don't get tomahawked. Yeah, that was a short outro. All right, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.